Welcome, everyone. How are we all doing? Welcome to the best show on TV. I'm one of your co-hosts, Pommy, and I've got the legend that is Fazz. How are you doing, Fazz?
I am so good. I'm up and about, ready to go. This, as you said, is the best show that you could find on a Thursday night. I challenge you. I challenge anyone. Look anywhere else. This is where you want to be. I am up and about.
Certified best show, Thursday, 8:30 through 9:15. we give ourselves a 50-minute downgrade, but let's run the intro, and then I've got something special for you after the intro.
I love the God. It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up, so what can make a better me?
Well, welcome everyone. And as opposed to our usual start where we run a Carlton intro, I've got something very, very special to do as the Carlton intro. So without any further ado, let's do that.
What you say, what you say, what you say, what? What you say, what you say, what you say, what? What you say, what you say, what you say, what? What you say, what you say, what you say, what?
And there we are. Flag 17 loaded. Hopefully there was sound for you. I'm not too sure if Facebook removed the sound. Did you hear anything?
I heard it, so I don't know if anyone else heard anything.
That's good. I was going to say, it muted it my end. So I don't know, but hopefully you got some cool tunes. But obviously, Carlton predominant show. We do cover the whole of the AFL, though. We've got some points of agenda today, and this one's a team exercise. We obviously had that wonderful Churchill quote there about it's the courage to continue. What are our expectations going in to 2023? And I think this should be our new mantra, Blue Leave, from Cam Dempster.
The expectations going into 2023, I mean, for me, the expectations, it's quite easy. I'm expecting going in every game to win it. Every single game. You know, it's not a case of try hard anymore and all that stuff. I think we're literally at a stage that every single game, Thursday night selection and build up to the weekend, it should be we can win this game. That's literally, to me, that's the expectation. If we win it, so you know the game's whatever. But for me, there's no reason and no team we should really sit there and think, oh, geez, they're going to do us. We should actually expect to win every game.
So have you just, in the most politest way possible, said, can we end hearing 23 times danger game?
Mate, any person who posts danger game will be immediately removed from the glorious Twitter account that is West Ham Fazz. No danger games. There's no danger games. We've got to go into every game thinking we can win it as a supporter group and as a club.
Well, look, Adrian there saying cracking tweets today, so
I did have a good day.
There you are. To be fair, me and Fazz today have both been. I'm one of the most hated men in Richmond at the moment for my Trent Cotchin retirement post, which is a little bit of a worry.
yeah, I loved it. But again, as per usual, don't put words in my mouth. I'm not saying we're going to win every game, but I'm saying you've got to go into every week thinking we can win it. That there is not a team that we shouldn't think we don't match up well against. No team has a defense to match up on Harry and Charlie should they get off the leash. That's fact. That's actually fact. So obviously we're not going to win every game. Obviously it's not a case of, I can't see us losing a game. We will lose games, but we need to go into every week, every Thursday night, every weekend thinking we can win this game. That's all.
Mate, I agree with you. And just quickly, just to digress, Greg, mate, good on you, my friend. We're sending you all the love and the support. And I've got this tattoo here. So if you want to get yourself, when you're out of your 10 weeks, get yourself that and join the community. All behind you, buddy. Well done. But Adrian's got you in trouble here. He's cutting up that quote. That could kill you. That could kill you.
Yeah, bring it. Yeah, bury me. Let's do it.
Hey, do you know what I mean? Spot on, Beachy. It's not the first time Richmond fans have hated me. Probably the hardest fan base for me to crack into, just quietly. I've cracked into Essendon. I've cracked into Pies. Richmond, no love for Poms. I think my expectation, I did see a comment up here. Did we watch last week? We did watch last week, but I mean, I'm gonna use the Australian cop out. It was a practice game because everyone kept telling me that, so I figured I'm gonna use it. No, serious, joking apart. I think the big thing for me that I'm looking for, and it was mentioned a bit earlier in there, redemption. I'm looking for. I want to see resilience is the R word I'm looking for, because I look at our fixture list and I think 2 tough starts, 4 pretty standard games for an AFL side that if they're a top 8 side, they should be looking at doing damage. And then I think after that, it's about being resilient, because you can look at the fixture list, and I hate doing it because, people start saying GWS, 100-point win. I've said that. North Melbourne, 80 points. Do you know what I mean? They start doing that. And in the AFL, that never goes. West Coast Eagles, I think they're going to be shit. North, they're going to struggle a bit. Hawks are going to struggle at times. St Kilda, they've got Ross the boss. They're fucked, let's be honest. But you just know that all the top 8 sides are going to drop to probably them sides. They're the sides that I would say, I hate to say danger game after I've said don't say it, but genuinely the sides that fuck someone's good run. Do you know what I mean? It's not a Richmond. It's not a Collingwood. It'll be a side that is the bottom 4. Do you know what I mean? Bottom 6 and that's Carlton historically, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Adelaide last year, finals is in reach. Everyone had banked Adelaide away. It was going to be a lock. Adelaide smashed us. St Kilda, same story. So I'm looking for that resilience. There's going to be times, and I think it was funny. I was speaking to a friend in the media the other day, and they said that Voss was on there, and the article, I don't know if the article's been released yet. It is going to be, but they've got their hot chart of coaches to be sacked. Voss is 5th on there, under pressure, right? Under pressure. And I said to him, I agreed with him 100%, because I was like, what happens with Carlton? It's different to North. That they want the story. So if Carlton go 0-2 and heaven forbid lose their 3rd game to GWS, that they're going to start doing the articles of this was Bolton's 2nd year. This was Teague's 2nd year. Have Carlton actually progressed? Was last year just a new coach, new dilemma, same questions remain? And that is where the resilience is going to come in, because I thought last year we lacked resilience when we were winning. I don't think it was when we were losing. I thought it was when we were winning was when you saw the resilience go. And that is from the haphazard performances at times that probably were arrogance. Hawthorn, second half. Arrogance that no one thought to address that. Do you know what I mean? And them kind of things happened towards the end of the year, that the Charlie playing on from the mark, kicking her behind, we laughed at it when we beat Sydney by 30. We weren't laughing against Collingwood or St Kilda. So it's them little things where they're going to have to be mentally resilient, because I actually think the biggest difference between 9, 4 and one is resilience.
Yep. No, I couldn't agree more. And resilience is something that, I teach and try and help in my profession with the kids at school a lot. And it's one of the hardest things to talk about. And I think resilience when you're going well is a big one that you just mentioned. It's the ability to perform at a standard when you are going well is actually quite a hard thing to teach. And I'll give an example for those playing at home. And I'm sorry if I bore anyone here, but if you're doing math problems and you're really good at counting by threes or whatever, and you're just doing threes, I'm so good at this. I'm not going to tell the teacher that I'm doing really well. I'm just going to keep doing it. And I know I'm going to get to go out at recess. I know I'm going to get everything coming to me. That is not a good quality to have. That is not resilient. That's showing that you are happy to keep doing the same thing over and over again with getting the same reward of getting to go out to recess. And I think there's a lot of that about Carlton. A lot. And I think you explained it perfectly. We are happy when Charlie Curnow plays on and snap goals. I mean, he did it again in the practice match. We're happy for it. But until it happens in a game where we lose, shit hits the fan. Harry Mackay doing his snaps instead of drop punts. The snaps are only an issue in games we're losing. And I think that's a big point. And the pressure is on Voss, because our list is different to every other list with new coaches. It is. The rebuild's over. I don't care what anyone says. If they think this is the list to go, then we got to go. And if Voss is at 0-2, which I suspect might be, the articles will come. They will certainly come. They will not hesitate to go after Carlton. They won't. We know what the media do.
Mate, you can see it. I mean, you can see it, can't you? I mean, so when I heard that he was their fifth in their debate, it didn't surprise me, because I was like, I mean, I would actually maybe say he's probably higher. And I'd also say Craig McRae at Collingwood is probably quite high, because Collingwood and Carlton are big clubs. Essendon, if Essendon finish 17th, they ain't going to be like, oh, it's all right, we're rebuilding. The media are going to say, should they have gone herd? Should they have done this? It's going to be the same with Carlton. Do you know what I mean? And I can see a world, and I've already said this, that when Carlton go bad, I reckon the stars will align and Ross will go well. And that's going to be the easiest media article. Wait for 2023. Pom's giveaway, right, is this. They will do an article when St Kilda win 2 in a row and Carlton lose 2 in a row. And it'll be like, Ross has got St Kilda humming. Half the talent. Should they have gone Ross? And that's going to be the article. So that is what I mean by the resilience. That's going to be the resilience. Because I remember speaking to your mate, Nick Newman, at one of the functions, and him saying it was so hard to read a paper because he was used to being called shit. And it made me laugh at first, but it did get me thinking. A lot of these players, and that was at 7-1. I think it was 7-2. And he was saying it was weird that he'd switch on Fox Footy, and he usually avoids it, but it was all praise. It was all gravy. Do you know what I mean? Carlton are good. Carlton are coming. How good are Carlton? Right? Yeah. And he said it was totally different because he was used to flicking it on and someone saying, Carlton are shit, sack Teague, sack Cripps, get rid of them all. But suddenly he was getting praise. So that's a different mindset as well. People need to appreciate that. Total different mindset.
Yeah. And I think it's, and I'd say apologies, but I'm not sorry at all. But to those supporters out there who go for support the lower teams, you just don't get it. Like, Carlton sell papers. We'll win spoon after we won a 2-game season. We'll sell papers. If Bulldogs, St Kilda, even Hawthorn, they don't go well this year, no one cares. No, it won't even be written. Ross Lyon might have given St Kilda a little bit of, airtime because it's Ross Lyon and everyone wants to see him do poorly. So that might buy them time. But Hawthorn could literally win 2 games this season. No one will care. No one will care. Bulldogs drop out of the 8. They won a flag in 2016 with the youngest list or whatever. They should have dead set. The Western Bulldogs should have gone on a dynasty. No one cares. Nobody cares because they're irrelevant. The fact is, Carlton are relevant. So no matter what we do, round 1 to round 23 or 24 this year or whatever they're doing at the moment, it's going to sell papers. Front page, back page, middle page. The fact that in all these top 50 players in the comp that people are doing at the moment, Cripps is, I think they're saying, Cripps and Charlie Kerner in the top 10 or top 5 or whatever. That's already an article.
Charlie Kerner number 1. Just
yes,
number
1.
One.
Correct. Charlie Kerner number 1. And I think Cripps was 4 or whatever. Saying, how can a team with 2 players or 4 players in the top 50 not play for? It's already an article. It's already an article. And I can tell you now, and I said it last week or the week before, no matter what happens, next Thursday night, there is going to be a fucking article in every newspaper criticising Richmond or Carlton. Why? Because we're relevant.
Well, I mean, you can prove it in the AFL as well. There's a great proof. So we said like Collingwood, Carlton, big clubs, big selling points. Collingwood actually proved this article twice, this theory. So one, Ginnivan and Bailey Smith, right? Do you know what I mean? Bailey Smith, literally very similar thing, almost the same. Do you know what I mean? You never hear about Bailey Smith. There was articles about should Collingwood cancel his contract? Should Collingwood cancel his contract? Should Collingwood be sanctioned themselves because what they do into the juniors and the kids? Is there a crisis culture? Was one of the articles as well. Is there a drug? And they pulled out articles from like 1977 of someone seeing a drug binge in the 70s. And another example, Taron Thomas, and what he's done is barbaric and horrific. And
he's a.
Do you know what I mean? And just welcomed back into the AFL community quietly. And then you look at John De Koning, right? Literally, like the first time they wanted to kill him, the second time it was all on. So there's the difference. Do you know what I mean? Like if Jordan De Koning or heaven forbid any Carlton player did what Taron Thomas would do, they would probably be petitioning to remove 2 flags.
100%. And you could not have given 2 better examples. Bailey Smith versus Jack Ginnivan, Taron Thomas versus Jordan De Koning. And this is not a Collingwood sympathising rant. Maybe it is. I don't know. But the reality is Taron Thomas could walk into my house right now and be like, you right, mate? You need something? Jordan De Koning walks in and be like, Geordie, how you go? Like, nobody cares about these irrelevant football clubs. And unfortunately, and I apologise to people who support them, but you just don't sell papers. And or you don't get clicks on Twitter or whatever. And that's just a reality thing. And I don't know. I do worry. I do worry should things start get a little bit hot under the collar. They'll come. They will come. And I think that should be a message. I think Voss should actually embrace that. I've been really big on embracing things at the moment, not shying away from it. And I think he should literally get up and say, they'll come for us. Let's go for it. Yeah.
Mate, I'm with you. And I actually think, and part of my resilience thing is I actually look at this side now and I hear Cripper speak today. If you get a chance to listen to it, listen to Cripper's interview. It's absolutely fabulous because of how he talks about the players. And I've never heard a Carlton captain talk that way. And that's kind of a good segue into my favorite moment of media bagging. But he talked about TDK, and I enjoyed the way that he talked about how he hoped he'd stay, how they've built a system, how they've built a brotherhood almost, that they're in it together. And then he had a caveat where he said, obviously, though, we love Tom. And if Tom wants to leave, we're happy with that because we're together and we want people here who are in it to win it. And I love that bit because I was like, that's the first time that I've got excited by a captain speak for a long, long time at Carlton Football Club. Because I was like, I said, if he fucks off, he fucks off. But I want boys here who want to stay here. Do you know what I mean? And for the first time ever, I felt that was like kind of, might be me being stupid. I don't know what you think, Fazz, in the chat, but that said to me that no longer are we about the individual. No longer are we desperate. Times long ago, we would have been like, oh, please don't go, Tom. Please don't go. Please don't go. It felt to me like we're a business now. We will offer you what we offer you. We will offer you the incentives. And if you choose to leave, handshake, best of luck, mate. I've got my boys here, and that's all we need. And that excited me that we are mentally resilient because we're now a football club.
I agree. Maybe a few people on social media should jump on board. And even in the media, I do think it was Dwayne Russell or one of those blokes who on the radio said, I wouldn't let De Koning go for anything. And I'm like, you're having a laugh, aren't you? Like, we're not talking about the second coming here. Like, I even had people compare him to Luke Jackson. At least Luke Jackson proved he could play at the highest level consistently. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is not Sam De Koning. Do people understand that? It's Tom De Koning, not Sam. Tom.
It's like, 3 letters and it ends in M.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I mean, like the things I've read about Tom De Koning, like. I don't know. Just to put it in perspective, guys, check the stats. Jack Silvani is a better ruckman than Tom De Koning. Just throwing it out there. So, yeah, look, anyway, and this is not a Tom De Koning slag off because he's a nice lad. He's a good kid, but fuck me. If he wants to go, if he's going to go for the money, good luck to him. And you know what? I actually salute that. You know, your career's so short. Get what you can out of it. If you think a premiership medal's more important, or if you maybe not back the club to get that and you think money's more important, whatever. Like, if I'm in that same position, mate, the money, you know, like, take the money. Like, good on him. Go for it, mate. Mate,
no, I'm with you. I'm with you. I mean, to me, I've never liked clubs. My club in the UK, Man United, have done that. I've been through this situation for about 10 years. Desperate. Please come to us. We'll pay you twice your worth. And Man United have been in obscurity for a long time. And it's only recently we're starting to bail ourselves out and start to get a bit of stabilisation. And it's still not quite right. But I wanted to talk about 2 things about TDK. Like, for me, you brought a brilliant segue, and we haven't pre-planned this, right? Of the difference between him and Luke Jackson. Now, I'm of the school of TDK. The reason that he's probably not very good in the statistical avenue is because I look at Luke Jackson, and Luke Jackson warranted his place in the Melbourne team as a forward. If he didn't ruck, he could play elsewhere. He could play elsewhere, and he was a very good player. My issue with TDK, and I blame Voss for this, and I blame Teague for this, I don't think he has ever had an official role. And I want to pander this idea. I look at Carlton's weak area, and I think high half forward is a huge weakness because Jack Martin, I can't trust him. And Jesus, for me, isn't a premiership winning third option. I think he's in a premiership side, but I don't think he is your go-to man in that role. And I would love to see, having watched Melbourne this year, having watched in pre-season, having watched Geelong and how they structure up with Reece Stanley, I'd love to see TDK be given a role as that third so we can sack off him going up the wing and saying, that's your official job now. TDK rucks 80% of the time. And for me, I think we're missing a trick. And we'll talk about the next bit on it. The bit that blags my head is this 8-year deal from Sydney, from Sam McClure. Now, as a rule, I don't trust anyone post 1999 who uses Brill cream to jet their hair black. As a rule, anyway. As a rule. But then the second issue I've got is he's basing this. The article is a work of art, of fiction, right? This is how he starts it. Sydney have always been impossible to get intel from because their recruitment department is the most tight-lipped in the AFL. However, after Carlton's practice game, He called it Bankstown. So this is how legit it is. It's Blacktown. He called it Bankstown. So he's got the area wrong. In the centre contest, Errol Goulding muttered to TDK, "You'll look great in red and white next year." From this, I can confirm Sydney have tabled an 8-year offer. How the fuck? This is my thing with the AFL media. Sam McClure needs firing on the spot for that article by saying you can't get any information out of Sydney, but evidently Sydney just share their trade fucking negotiations at the centre bounce. I mean, either the media's incompetent or Sydney are taking the piss. So I don't read into it. But what I wanted to ask you guys is, what are your thoughts of playing TDK as that third tall, giving him a structured role, right? And then secondly, does he stay or does he go?
I can't argue with you in regards to the Sam McClure article. I found that the second most funniest thing that I had to deal with today. Those of you who follow me on Twitter will know what I'm talking about. Tom De Koning, I think the Blues, Carlton as a whole, have kind of fell into this trap of got a young man, we'll keep him as our backup ruck and try and build him up that way. And I've been adamant on this, and I will die on this hill. If his brother, I stand by this. I honestly stand by this. If Sam De Koning didn't do what he did for Geelong, no one would be talking about Tom. I will die on that hill. Not a single person in media, social media will be mentioning Tom De Koning if it wasn't for his brother Sam. So whatever contract Tom signs, he should give a percentage of it to his brother because he's the best manager he's ever fucking had. I can tell you that right now. So I think Carlton played it right. Young man, we want to build him up to be our number one ruckman. We get Pitnet in, but it's because of this evolution of Sam De Koning, and it's like, hang on a minute, they've got a brother at Carlton, and he's a ruckman. It's the media now who are driving this. Tom De Koning is this great person. I'm confident a lot of people in this chat have watched a lot of footy. The media outrage over Tom De Koning is incredible. I've never seen anything like it. Hands down, I've never seen anything like it. And I will die on this hill. I said it. If it wasn't for his brother, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
It's weird because last 2 years, Walsh, and I want to just put this in perspective before I get Fazz's answer, stay or go, that no one ever re-signs from now till the bye, right? For starters. And there's two reasons. There is actually football reasons for this. One, the salary cap doesn't get readjusted to confirmed till about round 3 to 5. So anything Carlton sign now, right, could be total conjecture. It's estimated to go up by 650. They're the rumours. But just for argument's sake, Carlton could say, right, okay, we've got 400 to play with. We delist Cunningham. He's on 450. Remember that big contract re-signing we had? And they go, okay, that's there. That's there. We've got it, right? But caveat, imagine if Cunningham comes back at halfway through the season, kicks 25 goals in 12 games. Suddenly Carlton like, oh, fuck, we're going to have to re-sign him. Then they find out the salary cap was only 550. They're now 100K over the salary cap, having to re-sign Cunners. It goes chaos. And the other reason is, and this is a good reason, football reason for TDK and Carlton. How do you know that someone plays TDK in my role? That third tall, he kicks 35 goals a year. He improves his ruckcraft. Before you know it, TDK is pretty tasty. He can then command an offer elsewhere. You've got to remember Walsh and Cripps both delayed their contracts out because of football reasons. The club knows where they stand financially. They know the landscape. The player knows the landscape. An agent would be moronic to say to TDK, take Carlton's first offer. He has to shop around. But I will say this. I actually believe TDK stays. I actually believe that all the noise you're hearing, and I'm going to give you two reasons. One, I have never met anyone that I have any respect for, professionally or personally, who would ditch a project or something they've started because their brother works somewhere else. Honestly, And honestly, if that is the reason, that is honestly, I am glad he'd be out of the club because that is the most pathetic reason. Because to be a sportsman, you have to be controlled selfish. And there is no way that that is in the top 20 of his priorities. Barring an illness or something to the family, I can't understand any reason he would want to leave to be with us. Because unless TDK has escaped his attention, there is a fucking motorway from the CBD that goes to Geelong on the copious amounts of hours he has off a week that he can go and have a beer with Sam. And, amazingly, it's only an hour away. Fucking 30-minute drive each. You're together. And even better, what we're doing. Fucking Zoom it.
Mate.
So I don't believe it. And the second reason is I just don't think TDK, knowing him through Blue Abroad and the interviews we've done with him, this guy buys into the tradition and the family of Carlton and the ethos of Carlton, right? There is no fucking way that I think he would leave, even for money. The way him and his 9 brothers are being raised and stuff, I don't even think money is a motivator for him. So I would say the only reason he would leave to Geelong or Sydney is because what we've discussed here, a football reason where maybe he feels undervalued. And at the moment, if we're all honest, why his numbers aren't good, why he isn't in the top 20 ruckman in the competition is because at Carlton Football Club, he is basically Piternet's legs or the backup.
Yep.
Right? So give him a role.
Yeah, I that's spot on. It's a really good way of saying it. I will put a caveat in saying, didn't that young Henry boy from Collingwood leave to go play with his brother at Geelong? So it does happen. What a piss take that is. Look, knowing what I know with Tom and all that, he's a good guy. Like and I feel bad. Like I do slag him off a little bit, but it's only because I'm trying to get that equilibrium. Because at the moment, a lot of people are talking about him up here, and I'm just trying to even it back out. I like Tom. He's a good kid, right? Now the problem is, right? I'll give you an example. Everyone who follows this chat know that I'm a teacher. Yep. My sister's a teacher. Okay. We're both teachers. And I love my sister, right? We weren't close as teenagers, but I'd like to consider, I do love her. I could think of nothing fucking worse than working in the same school as her. Nothing worse. And I love my sister, right? I'm sorry, but like he grew up in a house of 10 kids. Why the fuck would you want to go back and play with your brother? Surely, as brothers, I love nothing than one-upping my sister. I'm better at this than you. My school's better than your school. Surely that is more of a motivation. Like, surely. Hey, yeah, Sam, you may have won a flag. Well done. But you play for fucking Geelong. Like, seriously, the arse end of Victoria. You live in the worst part of the state. And we're talking some absolute shitholes. Like, surely at Christmas drinks, winning a flag for Geelong doesn't actually dispute the fact that you live in Geelong. Like, come on.
About 15 minutes left of me. No. I mean,
like,
Fazz,
seriously.
Fazz, I'll agree with you, and I'll just give some shout-outs as well. Darren Bloomfield's just become a member. Good day to you, mate. Your first times, you're obviously enjoying it, but to answer Gab's question, no, we don't get compensation. He is one of them ridiculous. I could go on a rant here, but AFL has that third secret fucking loophole where
it'd be a trade. It'd be a trade.
Yeah, he's an Adam Sard free agent. So his options will be this: re-sign with Carlton, facilitate a trade without any force. Carlton will have to initiate this with the club. And the third option is if he can't, he then goes out of contract and will be subject to the draft. But the next thing I just wanted to answer is Luke Sinden, thank you for your $2.99. And I heard you comment there about money buys loyalty. I agree with you, right? I agree with you if we were talking a proper sport that played proper money, right?
Yeah.
So at the moment, the estimate of TDK is 300K, right? And the rumours are Carlton are offering anywhere, dependent on what source, 400 to 600. And then if you get the journalists in, I was listening to Watson today. Essendon, I don't know if he started being concocting what Job was using, but he said he's in excess of a 900k footballer. But the difference between, let's be reasonable, TDK, I would say, if you're paying on potential and talent, no more than 500. No more. And because I'm a man who likes to be shocked, I'll say 600 is the ballpark, and I don't agree with it. 600 to 400k in Australia is, with its taxation, is as negligible as you can get. Like, honestly, it is. And he would be looking at how Geelong treat their players versus Carlton. Potentially, he could be looking as well, knowing if he stays, Pitternet stays, he takes over the number one ruck role. If he signed a 2-3 year deal, it could work out more in the long term if he signed for 500, because if he got to 26, suddenly top 5 in the league, top 10, suddenly it's 700k. So you've got to be smart, because genuinely these long-term deals, you've got to remember Geelong, I saw it in the paper today, 6 years with an offer of a 7. Sydney, Sam McClure, Brill creamed his hair, said 8. All of them are over 5 years. So he's going to be landlocked to that. If Carlton are smart, they say 3 years, potentially you're going to get an increase, because no one ever in the AFL renegotiates an 8-year contract to be higher. They renegotiate to be lower. See Buddy, see Brody Grundy. They try and lower it because the rate doesn't work. So for me, in my honest opinion, I think he stays because Carlton are smart.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think he'll stay, because it'd be crazy, because this is not the contract. Like you just said, this is not the contract that's going to set him up for his future. It's the next one. So take this last contract from Carlton and then do what you like with it afterwards. But I just think, my silver, what the tinfoil hat on that you so beautifully.
Zoe threw it out when we moved out.
I love it. Like I actually genuinely believe that the AFL media do this because, as per usual, Carlton are now in a position where they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. If Tom De Koning tomorrow announces he's re-signed, every article will be, geez, Carlton over the salary cap. Oh, they've overpaid for Tom De Koning. He's a young kid. If we let him go, how could they let him go? As per usual, those fuckwits in the media have backed Carlton into a corner where no matter what Carlton do, they're going to be scrutinised for it.
Mate, I agree. And I agree with Luke. Luke nails it. For me, what I'm saying is, if we're a serious football club, which I think we are, TDK has put in a lot of fucking work. I'm going to give him credit here. He's put in a lot of work. He got drafted to Carlton where probably he was like this when they went, oh, pick whatever, fucking Geelong-born Tom De Koning Carlton Football Club, and was probably like, fuck, not them, not them, anyone but them. Do you know what I mean? He was probably like, oh, but he's put in the long, hard road with 38 other blokes on the list. So for me, Carlton have got a real good sell here. Right, Tom? Defined role. You've done really well. Come at the bye. No doubt Pitternet will fucking ping a hammy from now till round 12. And you sell him on the process and the future. And for me, the way to stop a Tom Boyd is you appeal to his intelligence and you say, look, we're going to offer you a deal till the end of 2026. You're on 350 now. We're going to give you 500. All right. And we'll readdress that then. Because in 3 years' time, there's going to be a lot of these players that are either going to, hopefully, we become a Geelong. And a few of these 28, 29-year-olds, we look at piffing off to bring in other talent. So I do it. So Chat and Fazz, yes or no? Is TDK staying or is TDK going?
Cool. Well, this is going to be the last thing I'm going to say on him because I'm sick of talking about him, and actually, like I said, I like him. So I'll use myself as an example. I am miserable at my work at the moment. I hate where I'm working. I hate what they're about, and I'm really over it, to be honest. The only thing keeping me at that place is the people I work with. I actually could not love the people I work with anymore. Like, they are some of the greatest people on this planet. So I'm going to use that to say Tom De Koning stays. Because when you are with the same people day in, day out, it's not just morons sitting on a chat and all this talking about money here and money there. He is with these people day in, day out. You build relationships. And no matter how much you fucking hate a place, like I do right now, you stay because of the people you care about. So I'm gonna say he'll stay because he cares about the boys.
Joe, man, split, yeah. Tell you, split. I think he stays. Yeah, I mean, and consistently, I love Tom De Koning, but consistently with every player that's ever walked out of Icon Park, fuck him if he goes.
Yep.
I mean, fuck him. I mean, I will find a stat that says we've actually ripped Geelong off in the trade and Carlton are home and hose. But let's go to a fun bit to end the Carlton segment. Who is your surprise packet from our club? So we've seen 2 practice games. I want 2 facets. I want your surprise packet, someone that's going to really cement their place in the 22 by the end of the year that maybe people aren't talking about or a controversial call. And the next one is, who is the surprise faller? Who do you think drops out of this team? Could be delisted, could be traded. Who do you think is maybe under a little bit of pressure?
All right. So my surprise packet, Lockie Plowman. He's going to play 22 games. No, I'm joking. I'm just waiting for all this.
Fucking hell, Fazz.
Just wait for all the things up. No, I think my surprise packet, I think, is going to be Ollie Hollands. I think he's actually yes, Zach, that's exactly why. Ollie Hollands. I think he's going to be the one who really cements that spot in the team and probably could end careers, which might add to the next part. So Ollie Hollands will be a surprise. And the other surprise, I think, it's going to be it's a bit of a tricky one. I think Nick Newman's going to be a bit of a surprise, purely because I see a lot of people naming best 22s and all this stuff. And I think Nick Newman, when fit, he'll play 20 every game when fit, if he's fit. So Ollie Hollands and Nick Newman are my 2 surprises. Do you want my fallers now, or do you want to go surprises?
Tell you what, I'll do my surprise with you. Yeah. I reckon the surprise is Mitch McGovern plays 22 games this year.
Fuck. Yeah.
And makes All-Australian. There you are. Have that. Oh, stick that in your pipe.
That is huge. I will take that.
Tell you what, clip it, and when he does his hammy round 4, just play it back to me.
Consider it clipped. Now, I've got 2 fallers here. I'll say my first one because I don't think it would be as controversial as my second one. So my first fall, I think Jack Carroll, and I know it's hard to fall from. I don't think he'll play a game this year for the ones. So it is a fall because he played 2 or 3 games this year. I don't think he'll play a single game. Yeah, just from what I've seen and heard. The other one, and I think this is going to cause a lot of problems, and I know my dad especially will probably call me and abuse me straight after this. I think the big faller this year is going to be Matt Kennedy.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think if we as a team want to move forward, we can't keep playing Kennedy and Hewitt and Cripps and Walsh. That's 4 blokes who can't kick the footy, in my opinion. They can't kick the footy. You can't play them all. So for me, I think Kennedy's the weakest link in that bunch. So I can see Voss and co trying to get him out of the team at some point, because I would be. Yeah, I knew this would come.
I fucking love your dad.
Yeah.
I absolutely love your dad.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah.
That's thrown me. That's it. Fucking hell. Okay, right. Back to serious face. Right. That's blown me away from your
So
dad.
Carroll and Kennedy, I think, will be the ones who are a little bit out of it.
You know, I don't agree with you, but I see your opinion. I see your logic. Like I can see your logic that. I can see your logic. We've got to read the comment as well. $2.99. Uppercut yourself, Fazz. Tell you what, for a price
Not for $2.99.
Yeah. But no, I can see where you're going, and I do think Carlton. I think you're on the right path in the terms of I think Carlton will be very harsh with players they delist, trade out this year because I think they're going to go the next level. I think Voss will see this year that I've got us anywhere from 4th to 8th. So I think Voss is going to be like, how do we get into that top 4? And that's where you start having points of difference. And I agree with you. I think on our lines, there's a lot of samey players. It's why if anyone watched my best 22, it's why I've got Cowan in there. It's why I've got Hollands in there because their points of difference. They're better than the players we've got. And they have something different. They have something different, which I think is important. But I will be honest, who I think I have got a feeling that it'll be on the half forward. So I can see. I think Pitternet. No, I think Pitternet gets traded, right?
Yeah.
And I also think one of Zach Fisher or Jack Silvani will be traded at the end of the year. I think, and that's not including Martin because I think if Martin gets injured, he will be gone. I think he will be gone as well. I think Carlton will target them problem areas. So I'm looking at intercept defenders, Marchbank, McGovern, Kent. One of them will leave. And third forward, one of them will leave. Jesus, Martin, Fisher, one of them will leave. And I think one of the rucks, but Pitternet will be the one who goes.
Look, what I love about our little partnership we've got going here, Pommy, is that I mentioned a bloke, Matt Kennedy, who 12 months ago wasn't in Carlton's best 22 as probably being a faller. And I've literally, I swear I had a brick thrown through my window about 20 seconds ago. And you've mentioned Jack Silvani, the untouchable of all untouchables, and no one said a thing. Like,
well, no. Well, I mean, hopefully you see the logic, right? Do you know what I mean? I think Gab's upset with me. Now, obviously, do you know what I mean? That is nothing against Zach Fisher, nothing against Jack Silvani. No. I just think from a list perspective, and we've got to be honest here, that is our weak area, right? That is our weak area. So do I think they can do it? 100%, right? 100% they can. What I'm saying is I think that Carlton will come to a point where with salary cap restraints, also with looking, if you actually look at the draft, all the best draftees are the positions I've mentioned, right? Yeah. High half forward, halfback, intercept defender, thousands of them. So it's logical that Carlton try and do it. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's logical. And the reason is I'm going to give you some examples, right? Zach Fisher, right? Incredibly talented, right? But what is his role? He's definitely not a forward. Voss thinks he's a midfielder as well, right? So he's got to play that kind of floater role. I think he's got to really cement it. He's got to really cement it. And I said one of the three, right? So then Jack Martin, seriously injured, but probably the number one choice out of them. And the third, Jack Silvani. What does Jack Silvani bring that the other two don't? Effort every week. Now, caveat this.
Tom.
But that's all well and good when you're bottom 4, right?
Yeah,
if you want to be top 4, right? 3 into 1 doesn't go. So no disrespect. Like in my opinion, you can't argue that. You can't argue that. So if you know what I mean.
No, I'm with you. And the thing is, what the frustrating thing for me is people will say we want the club to be ruthless on one hand, but then you say, oh no, Jack Silvani's untouchable on the other. You can't have your cake and eat it too. And this is my point with Kennedy. I love Matt Kennedy. I love what he offers. In fact, he to me is a very important list player. list player. And you need them. And you know what? Grand final day, he might be there. Who knows? But what I'm saying is, and like what you're saying, the point of difference is you need to look where you can improve. And I'm not being funny. They're not kids anymore. Jack Silvagni's going into his 8th season of AFL football. His 8th season. No more of this. He can improve. He can do this. This is him. He's not getting any better than what he is right this minute because he's in the second half of his career. Not many players play 16 years of AFL football. Not many. So Jack Silvagni's going into his 8th. This is what he is. He's not getting any better. So you need to decide as a supporter group or as your own personal opinion, is Jack Silvagni, the way he is right now, what we need as a club? That's up to you to decide.
Yeah.
Fine.
And Chris, right? I'm not saying he will go, but I am saying this is the hypothetical for Jesus to go, right? Phil Cunningham, definitely probably out the door, right? But Carlton will not target a junior as well. They'll look at doing a Gunston, that type of player, right? But my question is here, if Jack Martin just say plays 22 games, right? And say he kicks 32, he's locked to stay, right? Then let's just say Zach Fisher averages, which I think his best role is that 40% in the midfield because he's the only one who's got something different, right? And he does that. They're not going to re-sign all three. Do you know what I mean? Because they can't, because the salary constraints. But on the other token, right, I think Gav nails it, if Jack nails his accuracy,
yes,
right, and suddenly kicks 1.8, which he's more than capable of doing, right, then Fisher averages 25, and Jack Martin does his hammy in round 2, cutting the grass,
then
Jack Martin goes. So just because I said Silvagni, then I went less like Martin, then less like Fisher, doesn't mean that order, right? I'm just saying, I think one of them has to go because they are, like Fazz said, 5+ senior players. So that's not how a list is built. A list is your starter, next senior, baby, who's learning the role, and your Honeys and your Philps were the babies, not good enough at this stage to become the second guy. So I'm more than confident these guys can do it, but the problem is, guaranteed, one of them three, come back and watch this, end of the year, one of them three, if they don't make it, Gonski, and that is the nature of the beast.
And I'll call Chris up on that, call him an idiot before, saying at least Fisher and JSOS don't get injured. It was a couple of years ago, then Jack Silvagni missed an entire season from a love tap harder than what my 2-year-old hits me from Zach Merritt.
Oh,
so don't tell me he doesn't get injured. He's fucking injured all the time. Like Jack Silvagni, he's made of glass, mate. And I like him. And Lana, don't pick on Jack. Why not? If his name was Jack Smith, it'd be fair game. And you know my opinions.
To be fair,
know my opinions.
To be fair, I spent a wonderful evening with Lana, and we were tracking Jack Silvagni down. We tracked him. So,
and you know, I love it. I love everything, Jack Silvagni. But I'm a big believer, and I'll die on this hill. I've said that a few times before. I've caused many arguments on my opinions of Stephen Silvagni, but I still stand by. If his name was Jack Smith, he'd be fair game. If his name was Jack Smith, he'd be fair game.
Mate, and like Lou says here, that's what I'm saying. Martin, I can see it being Martin. In my heart of hearts, if you held a gun to my head and said, who do you think it would be? I think Martin, out of the three of them, is the best player, right?
Yes,
problem is, guy can't play 2 games in a row. When he does play 2 games in a row, the second one's under a cloud. So I think, logically, Nick Austin would have to trade Martin because there will be a club out there that has a history of pulling it out of the arse, and no doubt he'd get traded to North, and somehow Clarkson has got some magical formula, and he plays 30 games and bangs 40 and becomes the next bloody Jack Gunston, and we'll be like, what have we done? But that, for me, is how it happens, right? And
well, Jack Martin's got Jared Waite written all over him. Remember, he couldn't play 10 games a season for Carlton. He goes to North Melbourne as a free agent and plays plays like 60 games in 2.5 years or something. Like, it was wild. So I can see that something similar happened with Jack Martin. But
Johnny,
anyway,
I would say based on Nick, you look at Satterfield. Satterfield issued he wanted to leave. Carlton have been quite honest with this. They did a horrific trade, so he didn't have to go through the process of being delisted. They did what was best for the player. And I reckon with Jack Martin, what you will see next year is if it is Jack Martin, and he's probably pole position for that role, because I think Fisher's got too much upside with his dual position playing, right? I think what you'll see is Carlton will probably trade him to a club that wants him to get the salary off. And you've got to remember now, the salary isn't so bad because it was front loaded. So it was meant to be the first year. COVID happened. They moved it to the second year. He is now back on a base rate of 400k. So Carlton really don't have to worry about it. But 400k. What did I tell you earlier? TDK rumoured to be on 350. 400k, 350, 750. You can pay him the 600k quoted with 150k change to sign someone else. So everyone's happy.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll say on it is, if I can make one wish for Jack Silvagni, is I just want to see the kid smile. I just want to see him smile because he just looks like he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders, the weight of the football club on his shoulders. Everyone, me included, talk about sauce and all that. And he just looks like a miserable young man. I just want him to smile. I'd love him to get out there, kick 5 against Richmond or whatever, and just smile, Jack. Please, just put that anyone right now, go Google images Jack Silvagni, and every photo he's like this. Every photo, smile, son, please.
I actually think that the problem with Jack Silvagni, same problem with Jack Martin, same problem with every dickhead who plays off high half forward. It is literally the worst club to play for because 9 times out of 10, that's the exit bomb ball, right? So fuck knows what you're doing with it. But hopefully we see a bit of spread. And I'm sure that, to answer your question, 30 goals, more than a pass. For me, what I'm looking at with Jack isn't goals, because if it's Martin, I'm judging him 25 goals as a bare minimum, or he can get the fuck out. With Jack, people forget, Jack 2018-2019 was top 3 in the AFL for inside 50s resulting in scoring shots. Let that sink in, 2018. And some of the toffees and bobbins Jack Silvagni was kicking to then, and who kicked to him. So I'm looking more at score involvements for him. Do you know what I mean? Score involvement. So for me, is, if he can average 6 score involvements a game, fucking pay him $1 million. Because if he's getting 6 to goal, that's what, 36 points. That's halfway to winning every game.
Yeah, and you know what? I love you, Pommy, because you really took the pressure off my Matt Kennedy call earlier. So move on.
Well, everyone understands it now. Everyone understands it. Yeah. It could happen. Yeah. And I think I've told you all. You just chose Jesus. You all just chose. You only heard Jesus. Gave you 2 other options. One of them you all hate. You all hate Jack Martin. Do you know what I mean? Like you pick. Just, do you know what I mean? Like, he is favourite. I love Jack Martin. He's my boy. However, he is in pole position to go, and I will be the first September. Jack Martin plays 4 games. He's dog shit, right? I will be on every show saying rip up his contract, drive him to Essendon for a 5th, just a fucking chomp bar. I will be the first to get rid of him, right?
Couldn't agree more.
But Pom, God love him. This is why you love me. I don't care about heritage. I don't care about history. It's all nice. It's really good for fucking attracting foreigners to the club and selling merchandise. Care about winning now. Winning now. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
winning now. And then being able to tell my grandkids the story. I don't care about the 70s, the 60s, the times everyone went out and bought 4 houses on a year's salary, and now I've got to work 50 hours just to fucking go to Coles. Don't care about that. I care about the now. So I will do anything it takes and sign anyone it takes to win.
And we do not call Jack Silvagni's dad a fucking sellout. We do not call him that.
He did that.
Because if
to be fair,
he is,
chat, have a go at him. He hates the Sylvanis. I don't.
yeah, mate, we do, mate. If Steven Silvani's one thing, he is not a sellout. All right, move on.
We
on.
finished with some fun. So let's get into the fun part.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I'll pop off when I...
Look, Luke, thank you very much for your donation. Honestly, I will support Fazz in everything he says, right? Because he owns it. I don't get the Kennedy call. I wouldn't go as far as his dad to call him a fucking idiot, because I think that's, I mean, he's given birth to him. He can call him what he wants, right? But yeah, but I do say this. I'll give Fazz his pleasure. His reasoning made sense to me anyway. I understand. Like, same reasoning I told you about high half forward. Is he a mid forward? I actually agree with you. You know what? In my best 22, I mentioned that I think he is one of the rotations. I would rather him lose midfield time over Fisher, because I actually think he's naturally like Cripps, that awkward size, where Fisher is relying on his pace and his smarts. Kennedy can stand there. So I'm with you. I am with you. But what we're doing today is, you've seen this go around Twitter. You've seen it go around God knows what other media things. But we're going to do our predictions. So let me grab it in there. That's been brilliant, though, today. I've got to say, fucking, we've delisted JSOS and Kennedy.
Well, did anyone see my predictions that I posted on South Australian SEN? That was pretty good.
Do you know what I mean? We didn't really delist them, but evidently we did. Right. So, but here we go. We're going to play this game. So I'm just going to put the blank one in, right? So you can all fill these out. So I did come prepared, but I copied and pasted the one with my results in because I'm an idiot. But that should be in your chat bar now, right? So we're going to play Premiers, ladies and gentlemen. Who is going to be the Premiers this year? So that is your worksheet there. I've put it up on the screen. Got Premiers, runners-up, Wooden Spoon, Brownlow, Coleman, Rising Star, Biggest Improver, that's a club, and Biggest Slider.
Easy.
Go on then, Fazz. Give me your Premiers while everyone does their Premiers. We'll do the Premiers first.
Premiers. My Premiers are Melbourne. The D's.
Mine are Demons too.
Yep.
Michael C. Madden is a man of intelligence and integrity. He agrees. Sydney.
Yeah, good.
I like that, Gav.
That'll feature soon for Pommy. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Melbourne. Yeah. I'm backing Fazz's dad's good books. That's good.
Good to see we agree. Yeah.
Melbourne. Carlton flag. I love it, Lou. Brisbane.
Love it. Oh, man.
Michael, you've baited him. Brian's done it too. Hey, tell you what, I'm so proud of you three. Look at this. Zach, Brian, and Michael, my dream combo.
Get to the sliders. Get to the sliders.
Okay, which team is your slider?
I know, we're runners up in it.
Oh, sorry, runners up. Who are the runners up?
I've got the Tigers as runners up.
The Tigers. I went Cats. I think Cats try and go back to back. I think Melbourne wrestle it back. I think that's a romantic story for the AFL. We like romantic stories here.
Yep.
So we've got Fremantle runners up. I like that. Melbourne runners up. So Brisbane runners up. Brisbane getting a bit of love. Hey, tell you, Mr. Fazz, Mr. Farrell, copying my answers. Brisbane from Jolly Pet. Darren, Brisbane. Okay, Wooden Spooners.
Yep. For me, the Hawks. Hawks, Wooden Spooners.
I went the Eagles. Yep. So give me your Wooden Spooners, chat. Give me your Wooden Spooners. But Eagles, I honestly, I don't buy it. Like everyone keeps saying, like even the media have overestimated fucking the Eagles. They're like, but look at the talent they've got there. And then I watched their last practice game, and it's Dom Sheed and fucking Luke Shuey on the ball. I'm like,
look, I don't think they'll be great, but I think any team that gets 11 or 12 games in their own state surely can win enough to get them off the bottom.
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? Like, surely they can.
Dom
they can
Sheed and Luke Shuey on the ball would have looked brilliant if the year was 2013, but in real life.
So no, Hawks for me. Hawks for me.
Okay, Brownlow. Who we got in chat?
I've got a really good one for this, and I've got reasons for it. I reckon Bontempelli will win the Brownlow, and for me it's the Patrick Cripps effect. So we all know Bontempelli is a poor man's Patrick Cripps. All right, Patrick Cripps, dominates his first year. Bontempelli dominates his first year. Patrick Cripps is captain of the under-22s. Bontempelli's captain of the under-22s. Patrick Cripps makes all everything Patrick Cripps does. Bontempelli just decides to get his big nose and follow him through. So Cripps wins the Brownlow, I think, just by pure, history says that Bontempelli will get his big nose and follow Patrick Cripps to win the Brownlow.
Gav, quality.
You're filthy, Gav.
Gav, you know what? If Matt Kennedy wins the Brownlow, I am gonna fucking love it.
I'll eat this hat if Matt Kennedy wins the Brownlow.
It would be the best day of my life. If there is something divine above us, they will make that happen. I went Cripps back to back.
Oh, I love that. Bont for me.
And there's a caveat: if Kennedy and Hewitt play 20 games each, that's a lock, right? Coleman medalist. Most goals in the year, and give me a ballpark figure. But who's winning it?
I'm going to say Jeremy Cameron with 79.
That would beat mine because I've gone Charlie Curnow back to back as well because he is the best player in the world. The first time I've ever agreed with Robbo, he is the best player in the league. I've gone Charlie Curnow 78.
Ooh, tasty. No, I think Jeremy Cameron's got a bit of a point to prove. I think, he had a really good season. The only thing holding Cameron back is probably his hamstrings. But, I can see him having a really big year.
Tell you what, a lot of Harry love here.
Yeah, a lot of Harry. Tom Lynch is a good shout. I think Tom Lynch, in fact, if Tom Lynch played a full season, he would have beaten Charlie 100%.
Come on, chat. All this Harry love.
Yeah.
Come on, look. You got that guy. Like you've got the Messi of football in your forward line.
If Harry Mackay can grow a backbone and start smashing packs or whatever, then maybe he can kick, 70 odd goals. But until then, he'll be stuck on his 45 like he was this year. So he needs to come out strong.
Tell you what, I love this from Michael Feast. This is a great shout, right? But
good shout.
Isaac Rankine, I reckon he'll fly for you guys. Tell you what, Billy. Thank Christ you're here. 105 by Charlie Curnow. Mate, what can I say? Ball. The lovely Jolly Pat, one of my faves. Mackay, 74. Curnow, 69. Charlie, 90. Well done. That's it.
Love it. I love it. What a season.
That's it.
What a season.
But, hey, see, look. That's why we love Gab. Gab. Right, but let's have a look. Rising star. Who is your rising star?
Look, my opinion on the rising star is no matter what this kid does, he's going to win it because the media have already said so, and the media award it, and that's Ashcroft from Brisbane. The greatest player to ever be drafted in the history of the game. Better than Walsh, better than Dacos. He could average 10 disposals a game, and he's going to win it. It's the most bullshit award going around.
Cam McKenzie, Lockie Cowan. Don't mind the Lockie Cowan shout, to be fair.
It's good, it's a good shout.
But, I mean, I'm now up to 550 on this bet. And Lou and Peter V have got it. It's Philip O. Honestly. Watch this space.
Got to get the media on board, mate.
No, but do you know why he's got an advantage? He plays for a shit club.
That's true.
And I don't think Ashcroft is going to play a lot of games. Like, he'll play a lot of games, but I don't think he'll play as many as Philippou. And I think Philippou will usurp him. Well,
the easiest way to win a rising star is just become a halfback merchant like Dacos did. So jump on the halfback and happy days.
Ed Allen, Finn Callahan, some good shouts here, actually.
I like Sheasel. Sheasel's a good shout.
Yeah, Shea's dog.
And
Darcy's a good
Darcy,
shout.
yeah, because he's still eligible, and they do love a big man. Remember when Jesse Hogan beat Patrick Cripps in the Rising Star? They love a big man when they perform. So Darcy's a
Ruben
good shout.
Gimby's a great shout. Darcy's a great shout. Cam McKenzie is a great shout from Ben and Luke Sinden as well. Probably the only player in the draft who's coming in and actually playing his normal role as well, which will help him. Which will help him because he is going to be the feeder. And then the biggest club improver.
Biggest improver for me, I think, will be. I couldn't decide between the two Adelaide clubs, and I guess I've probably been sucked in a little bit with the media around the Crows. So I'm going to forget them because I fucking hate the media. So I'm going to go Port Adelaide. I think they'll be the biggest improver this year.
Port Adelaide, I've actually gone Carlton as the biggest improver because I've got us finishing 6th, which I think deserves it if you finish there. Carlton finish there. I think that'll be a big thing.
Yeah.
Carlton, Adelaide. Adelaide were my second choice. Actually, my exact answer, just to confirm if you go on Twitter, is Carlton or the Crows, and that's not because there is a Crows fan in here. I was separated between them.
Yeah, for me, I was torn Port or the Crows, and like I said, I got sucked in probably the last couple of weeks with Adelaide. So I've been sticking with Port Adelaide since the back end of last year. I think with Rosie and Butters and all that in the midfield, I think they're going to be really good. So they're mine. So, but the Crows are a good shout.
I like it. And your biggest slider as a football club, who slides the most?
Well, I checked the ladder. So I was originally going to go with Fremantle dropping out of the 8, and then I thought St Kilda. But I checked the ladder and I saw Hawthorn finish 13th this year. And so for me to tip them to win the wooden spoon, from 13th to the spoon, to me, that's the biggest slider. So, like I said, I was going to go with St Kilda free, but I'm going to go Hawthorn as the biggest slider. I think they're going to be stone motherless last.
Oh, you know what? Just every so often you surprise me, Fazz. But
yeah, well,
you put a lot of work into that, mate.
Yeah, well, like I said, I didn't realize they finished 13th last year because they're so irrelevant, and so stone motherless last. So I think they're going to. I struggle. They'll win 2 games if that. So
I've got just purely because I can't wait to just watch the fallout. Because I mean, has anyone actually heard the hidden audio before I give St Kilda as my answer? Because one of my mates, and I don't know how true this is. But he is a massive St Kilda fan, and he was in our chat group today. And he said that evidently part of the audio was something along the lines of, "No wonder Dimmer got rid of him. He's fucking shit," about Dan Butler. And it was along them lines, which made me laugh so much because I have actually said that so many times about Dan Butler going, "Fuck me, can you think of a guy more overrated than this player?" But I have gone St Kilda. I think St Kilda finished 17th this year.
Yeah, no, and I had them, like I said, St Kilda, Fremantle, Hawks were the ones I wrote. And I think, the St Kilda one, I mean, if you want to talk about the worst pre-seasons in the history of pre-seasons, gee whiz, they've got injuries that can rival Carlton's injuries. They've got coaches leaking information left, right, and centre. Like, it's just, I'd feel sorry for them if I cared about them, but you know.
I think the difference is though, JJ, is I like Jack Higgins. Like I'd have a beer with Jack Higgins. Dan Butler reminds me of one of them guys that when it's his round, he says he's just going for a piss and he climbs through the freaking window.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Totally bails. You know Dan Butler every time has dogged the boys on his round. He looks the type, and having met his brother, Sam, right? He's so nice, so lovely, so kind and considerate and measured. Brothers are always the opposite, right? So
we all know a Dan Butler.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, I guarantee Dan Butler, do you know what I mean, owes his mate a tenner from year 9. And he still dodges it. Do you know what I mean? Still dodges it. That is all we got time for the show. We have had so much fun.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much, everyone. We cannot wait to see you this time next week. We will be Wednesday.
Yes.
the day before the game. So we'll do a bit of a preview. We'll calm your nerves, and we will be getting excited for Carlton's inevitable 22-point win, where Gav has promised me Sauce will kick 4. So
Yes.
I will be sacking Jack Martin probably the next week after that. But that will be good. Thank you very much. Thank you. We cannot wait to see you. Until next week. Sayonara.
See you guys.